As you see here, your man's Dan Bernstein, who's a hot taker out there in the shot. He's known for saying the thing, but let's get right into the nuts and bolts of what he said. So, okay, to not include them in terms of Chet Walker, Artis Gilmore, Horace Grant, who are own legends in their own degree, more so Artis Gilmore and arguably Chet Walker, Horace Grant less so. But in regards to not include them per this now lowered standard, would be an injustice. So he's saying that the bar has now been lowered. Past Bulls, present Bulls, future Bulls, the bar is now lowered to get your jersey retired because the Bulls have decided that Derrick Rose is going to get his jersey retired, his number retired. That to me is such a ridiculous statement. It's time we chop down yet another trash narrative. Look, Derrick Rose's impact kind of goes without saying, but if you must know, we're talking about the number one overall pick in 2008, 7 seasons with the Bulls, 406 games, Rookie of the Year, youngest MVP in NBA history, and a 3-time All-Star. That's just like the accolade stuff. I used to be a Bulls fan. I gave up the Bulls because of the meniscus tearing taskmaster Tom Thibodeau and what he did to Derrick Rose. To talk about Derrick Rose and his impact is larger than basketball. We can talk about what he meant to the city of Chicago, hometown kids, Simeon, all of that, right? But the fact of the matter is that for a franchise that's seen the highest of highs, having the GOAT, Michael Jordan, play for them and win them 6 championships, and to then go into the doldrums of having Ron Mercer as your number one option, to have Marcus Fizer as one of your franchise players. That franchise went through tremendous lows. And the one hope, do people remember that the Bulls had the worst odds of winning the lottery that would have landed them the draft pick that turned out to be Derrick Rose? Now we know that probably was a fix, but the fact of the matter is that the Bulls statistically had the worst odds to land the number one pick that specific year when Derrick Rose was going to be the surefire, bona fide number one overall pick, and they landed him. So it was a huge thing of a miraculous outcome. And then he shows up and he's as advertised, if not better than what he was advertised. The man came in and was transcendent immediately. And he put that roster and he put that franchise and he put that organization in that city on his back. He put Bulls fans on his back because Bulls fans were starting to wane nationally, not outside of Chicago we're talking about. Bulls fans nationally were starting to wane. I was one of them that was like, all right, man, they just can't get it right. We had to run with Jordan. We'll take that. Nobody could ever take that away from us. It's all good. But Rose brought that back. He brought that energy. He made you think we got the best player. Noah said it during the speech that he did it at halftime. Great job by Joe. Every night they felt like they had the best player because they had Derrick Rose. And as a Bulls fan, that's how you felt. You felt every night, similar to when it was Jordan, every night I got the best player on the floor. That means I got a really good chance of winning games. And win games the Bulls did. And it was primarily because of Derrick Rose. A lot of people give credit to Thibodeau. A lot of people give credit to guys like Luol Deng, guys that came in and kind of helped in that supporting role. But make no mistake about it, the guy, the one, was Derrick Rose. He was the reason why that Bulls franchise became resurgence. He was the reason why the UC began to have a buzz again. He was the reason that gave Bulls fans hope, that gave NBA fans hope that it's not just going to be the LeBron show, especially coming out the East. The East was seen as, the Eastern Conference. Remember that? The Eastern Conference, because it was nobody that was seen as a threat to get in LeBron's reign. Enter Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose was never on that type of time with LeBron. He was never playing buddy-buddy. He looked at him directly as a rival. And there's few players that LeBron, you can tell, had felt the aura, felt the mystique from. And low-key, we can admit now, because it was a long time ago, there was fear. There was fear in LeBron towards two people. We've seen it live and direct. Kawhi Leonard in the finals when Kawhi was still with the Spurs, and Kawhi's checking back into a game, and LeBron turns around and sees Kawhi checking back into a game and curses because he realizes the claw is coming to clamp him up. And then we saw it in the multiple times LeBron tried to acquiesce himself to Derrick Rose, and Derrick Rose was not having it. You're a Bull, I'm a Bull, you're a Cav, It's not happening. We're not on that buddy stuff. I'm not Wade. I'm not Bosh. I'm not Dwight Howard. I'm not any of these dudes that just want to bounce to your whim. I move to my own beat. LeBron could never befriend Derrick Rose. Much like Jordan could befriend any and all. Make you think y'all buddies and then go out there and bust your ass and put up a double nickel in your head after y'all were out gambling or golfing the whole night before. That never flew with Derrick Rose. LeBron can never get that off with Derrick Rose. Stacey King, former Bull, played with Jordan, now Bulls broadcaster on the TV side. He said this, when talking about Derrick Rose, it's like, if he never goes down, he's Michael Jordan. Now, I think that's a stretch. I think that's hyperbole. I think that's just, gaslighting. But to me, as someone that was still a Bulls fan at that time, no longer today. Because imagine rooting for that squad today, trash. But trying to put into proper perspective what Derrick Rose could have been. Youngest MVP, Rookie of the Year, was putting the franchise on his back, was winning 50, 60 games with a squad that was not the most talented in the league. And you're telling me if he doesn't get hurt against Philadelphia at the end of a game where his team was up by double digits with the meniscus tear and Taskmaster Tom Thibodeau foolishly leaving him in the game as the number 1 seed in game 1 at the crib against the 8th seed, we were robbed. We were absolutely robbed of what Derrick Rose could have been. And I can't sit here and tell you that Derrick Rose wouldn't have been Michael Jordan. I think it's highly unlikely. But in terms of having the impact for the Bulls the way Jordan did, I don't know he wasn't going to get 6 championships. I don't even think he was going to get more than 2, if he even gets to 2. But the fact of what he meant to the city, meant to the team, meant to the franchise, meant to the organization, I do think he could have had the same type of impact like a Michael Jordan. He meant that much. And of course, the local Chicago angle added to that and helped embolden that, right? But that's the thing about it. For as much as highlights we could pull up of Derrick Rose going crazy, we were still robbed of his peak. We were robbed of his prime. He never hit his prime healthy. We were robbed of that. He never hit his peak physically. We were robbed of that. That team was getting to a place where they were building and being cohesive enough to where that squad could have had a 3 to 4 year run. Like those Dwight Howard Orlando Magic teams where they might have walked through LeBron and gotten to the finals one time, like that Magic team did. But we were robbed of that opportunity. To act like Derrick Rose didn't do enough is just ignoring the impact. If you want to ignore the impact, fine. No disrespect to Chet Walker. No disrespect to Artis Gilmore. No disrespect to Horace Grant. You cannot compare what those 3 players meant to the Bulls organization, franchise, fan base to what Derrick Rose is and was. It still happens to this day. The turnout. Players flying in from across the world. Chicago giving that man a day. There's no way you could compare what Artis Gilmore meant as a Bull to what Derrick Rose meant as a Bull. Wrapping it up, to me, this dude is just trying to be a contrarian. He's trying to compare Derrick Rose's impact to Artis Gilmore. No disrespect to Artis Gilmore, but come on, son, like stop. Like Derrick Rose's impact, not only was he transcendent as a Bull, he was a transcendent as an NBA player. You're talking about a guard that has a type of skill set that you see today in guards like Ja, in guards like Maxey, like that downhill attack first, score first point guard. Derrick Rose is one of those early score first point guards to where he wasn't really out here trying to get 8 to 10 dimes a game. He would do it if he had to, but his game was, I'm going to give you 25. I'm going to get you 25, and it's going to be an impactful 25 because I'm going to control the tempo. The tempo's going to be at my tempo. When you're looking at guards like Russell Westbrook, when you're looking at guards like Ja Morant, when you're looking at guards like Tyrese Maxey, like those guards follow the blueprint that was laid down by Derrick Rose. Yes, there's been scoring guards, point guards before Derrick Rose, but it was a different ferocity, athleticism with Derrick Rose. He would yam it on your bigs. Okay, yam it on your bigs. It wasn't just all fancy handles and jelly fam layups. It was I'm yamming it on your bigs. To do all this on 1/4/25 Derrick Rose Day, it just shows a level of nastiness and, contrivance. This was a straight manipulative play. I'm going to say the thing that no one else is going to say to drive views, to drive clicks. And it's time we start calling these out and calling it for what it is. It's a nasty, desperate attempt at attention. And Derrick Rose getting his jersey retired, no one should bat an eye at that because it's a legacy and an honor that is long overdue.